I have not done a trailer reaction video in a very long time, probably since the Wolverine movie came out, which was like 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a little while, but today the trailer for the live-action Titans series dropped, and this series looks really awful. This makes me long for the days of Smallville, which was one of my least favorite superhero properties of all time. This trailer is not very long. It's only about a minute and a half long, and it mostly just gives us a glimpse at Robin, Dick Grayson, and Raven. We very briefly get to see Beast Boy, Starfire, Hawk, and Dove, but they don't have any lines in this trailer, and none of them are in it for longer than 1 second. So we're really just focusing on Robin and Raven. And apparently Dick Grayson is a cop here, which is a thing in the comics after he became Nightwing. He eventually became a cop in Bloodhaven. Here he's still Robin, and apparently has had a break from Batman because when he's attacking some thugs very violently, someone says, "Where's Batman?" and he drops an F-bomb. So he's not too happy with Batman. We don't really know what happened here. Probably the same kind of thing that happened in the 80s whenever he became Nightwing. But anyway, this series apparently is going to be aimed at older audiences, or at least younger teenage audiences who think that this kind of thing is cool. And I say that because I was that kind of kid. When I was like 13 years old, I thought that I was really mature and really awesome because I read all these Vertigo comics that were labeled as mature audiences only. And so I feel like this is aimed at who I was whenever I was a young teenager, and I don't see how this is going to work. I don't understand why we have two extremes of Teen Titans. We have Teen Titans Go, which is aimed at toddlers to 5-year-olds, and then we have something like this, which is going to be a rated R TV show, and we don't have something that's kind of a halfway point between the two. I don't understand who this is aimed at. I feel like they think that older people, like people my age, are going to be into this, and I was looking through some of the comments on the trailer on YouTube, and nobody that I saw was interested in this. They all thought this looked terrible. I think it doesn't look great. I think the only characters who actually look okay, Robin's costume looks really good. This makes me think that if they were to do a Batman and Robin movie right now, they could make Robin's costume work. A lot of people are saying that Robin's costume is way too colorful and that it would not work in live action. I think the costume here, what we see of it, looks okay. We mostly see him in his police uniform. We don't get a great glimpse of him in the costume, but we do see it a little bit, and I think it looks fine. What we very little see of Hawk and Dove, I think they look okay. Beast Boy, Starfire, and Raven, I don't know. They don't look anything like they do in the comics, and maybe they're thinking that people aren't going to watch it if you have someone who's actually all green like Beast Boy is in the comics, so instead, let's just have him have green hair. And then Starfire, let's just have her have orange hair instead of having orange skin and orange hair. And then Raven, she looks like she does in the comics pretty much. She doesn't have the cloak and the hood, but her skin color kind of looks like Raven's pale skin color in the early 2000s Jeff Johns run on Teen Titans, and her hair is kind of the same color, but I don't know, she doesn't really look like Raven to me, and I can't really put my finger on it. Mostly, the tone of this thing is just very perplexing to me. I really don't understand why they thought they had to go in this direction. This makes me feel like DC, which is no surprise at all, but they have absolutely no idea what they are doing. Going back to movies like Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad, it really seemed like they wanted to be edgy and cool and modern and dark and gritty, which those are a lot of buzzwords that maybe meant something to me when I was 13, which I mentioned earlier, but now, as an adult, I'm thinking, okay, you're trying way too hard. You need to have a good story, and then if your story warrants a darker tone, then that's fine. But if you're just throwing that tone on there and you don't really know what you're doing, then this is going to fall apart. Looking at comic books like The Watchmen or The Dark Knight Returns, those things tonally were very dark, and the story warranted that dark tone. I am pretty sure that the tone here is just going to be dark for the sake of dark. I don't think that the story that they have here is actually going to warrant having a thug who is gushing blood all over the place and Robin snapping necks. I'm just really not into this idea. So I don't know. Maybe it's still going to be good. I was one of the people saying, like, don't judge it yet by the pictures that we were seeing of Starfire and Beast Boy. A lot of people were throwing fits saying, this doesn't look good. Personally, I didn't think that those pictures looked very good. I didn't think the characters looked anything like they do in the comics, but I was saying, okay, let's maybe wait and judge it once we see a little bit more. Now that we have, I'm thinking, okay, this doesn't look very good. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm kind of curious what this show is going to do. I'm not going to get the DC streaming service thing anything that this is going to be airing on. I don't know anyone who is, but maybe people will get it and maybe they'll watch this. Maybe it'll be good. I don't know. But I don't think that this is going to be good. I don't know how this is going to work with the streaming service thing. Are they going to renew shows if it's on a streaming service? Are they going to easily be able to renew shows like this? Or if it doesn't get good ratings, are they just going to drop this and then have something replace it? I don't know. But anyway, things are not looking good for the Titans, but maybe someone out there will enjoy this. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on this trailer. Not too impressed with it. But anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.